Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads and findings that came in the BeadingSchool Academy subscription box that I received. This is a bi-monthly subscription box, so this is the one for May and June. I'll put a link in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription in case you want to watch it, where I go over everything that came in the box. I'll also put a link in the description box below to the BeadingSchool Academy website in case you want to go on there and check it out and maybe subscribe to the box. Or you can just shop around on their website. They have a shop full of beads and findings that you can buy individually if you want to. And here I have the 2mm round glass pearl beads that came in the box. The color is royal blue. And here I have some Duracoat galvanized gold 11-0 Miyuki seed beads from my stash. And here I have the 4mm fire polished beads that came in the box. The color is luster aquamarine. And here I have the 3x4mm micro faceted micro spacer beads. They're 24 karat gold plated that came in the box. And here I have some of the Miyuki 11-0 Delica beads that came in the box. The color is matte opaque agata blue. And here I have some of the Miyuki 15-0 Duracoat galvanized gold seed beads that came in the box. And here I have some of the 15-0 Miyuki seed beads that came in the box. The color is Duracoat opaque dark navy blue. And here I have this really, really pretty lobster clasp that already has an extender chain attached to it and a little dangle already on it that came in the box. It's just really pretty. I love that chain. I have one 8mm jump ring and some 5mm jump rings from my stash and a couple of wire guardians. And here I have the 18mm moon face round glass cabochon in crystal AB that came in the box. And then I have the 4 10x14mm rectangle glass cabochons. The color on those is azure blue. I have some chain from my stash. I don't even know if I'm going to need any chain because you all know me. I usually end up making necklaces really long, so I'm not sure how much chain, if any, I'll need, but I've got some in there in case I need it. I've got a size 11 beading needle, and I'm going to be using my 8-pound fire line in crystal. Of course, I'll be using my scissors and thread burner to cut and burn down my fire line, and my pliers to put my findings on when I'm done. I'll put links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. I looked on their website, and I think you can get all of these things individually if you didn't get the subscription. Except I don't think they have these 3x4mm micro-faceted spacer beads. I saw some in 2x3mm, but I didn't see any in 3x4mm. But there were some 3mm fire polish beads in the box that you could use in place of where I'm going to be using these spacer beads. But I think everything else was there, except of course what few things I'm using from my stash. And I think that's everything. So hold on and I'll get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is bezel one of these rectangle cabochons that came in the box. And then of course I'll do the other 3 off camera. And I forgot to mention the theme of this box was Rosetta window. And all I need for the first couple of rounds are my 11-0 Delicas in matte opaque agata blue, and a few of my Duracoat galvanized gold 11-0 seed beads. I've got my needle threaded. I'm not really sure how much thread each of these bezels is going to take because I've not done one yet. I've been playing around with it, trying to figure out how to do the bezel and how to make the corners and everything, but I never have done a complete bezel, so I don't know for sure. I'm guessing it probably will take about around 3 feet, but I've got about 4.5 feet of thread on my needle, but just to make sure I have plenty. And then if I have any extra left over, I can use that to sew my cabochons together after I get them bezeled. I've got a stop bead on here, and I'm leaving about 18 inches of tail, because whenever I do a bezel, I'm never able to do one side of the bezel completely and then switch and finish the other side. I just can't keep my tension right. It always ends up, the stone doesn't fit in there well when I do that. So I go back and forth. I do a little bit on the back and then a little bit on the front, like that. So I'm leaving a long tail so that I can use it to do some on the other side. I could just not leave such a long tail and sew back and forth from one side to the other, but I don't really want to put that much thread through these beads because I definitely don't want to break a bead. So I've got 36 of my delicas here on my thread, and I'm gonna sew back through just a bunch of them. It doesn't matter how many. You can sew through all of them or half of them, whatever you want to do. I like to sew through several because it seems to help me keep better tension if I sew through several. I think I'll sew through a few more. Try to keep good tension on here. Now, this is going to be a peyote bezel, so I'm going to be picking up a bead and skipping a bead. And for the top of my rectangle, I'm going to do 2 delicas. So I'm going to pick up a delica, skip the next delica, and go into the next one. And that sets the one I just put on next to the one I skipped. Push my stop bead down to tighten everything up. Now I'm going to pick up another delica, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. Like that. That's going to be the top, the shorter part, the top of my rectangle. Now for the corners, I'm going to pick up one of my gold 11/0 seed beads and skip the next delica and go into the next delica. Like that. And I'm going to do that again. Pick up an gold 11/0, skip the next delica, go into the next delica. Push my stop bead down again to tighten everything up. Now I'm on the, let's see if I can, well, maybe I need to position my camera different so y'all can see better. Hold on. I don't know if that helped or not, but now I'm on the longer side of my rectangle. So on the longer side, I'm going to do 3 delicas. So I'm going to pick up a delica, skip the next delica, and go into the next one. Pick up another delica, skip the next delica, go into the next one. I don't know, maybe if I zoom in a little bit more it'll help. I don't know. I don't want to zoom too much. It'll blur. Now I'm going to do one more delica for my longer side. Skip the next delica, go into the next delica. Always have to push my stop bead down a lot on this first row. Now I'm going to do my corner again. So I'm going to do a gold 11/0, skip the next delica and go into the next delica. Pick up another gold 11/0, skip the next delica, go into the next delica. So I've got, well, I'll call this my bottom of my rectangle and the side of my rectangle and 2 corners. So now I'm going to do the top of my rectangle. So I need 2 delicas for the top like I have for the bottom. So I'm going to pick up a delica, skip a delica, and go into the next delica. Pick up another delica, skip a delica, and go into the next delica. So that's my top. I'm going to do my corner again. So I'm going to pick up a gold 11-0, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. Pick up another gold 11-0, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. Now I'm ready to do my last long side, so I need 3 delicas this time. Pick up a delica, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. Pick up a delica, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. Pick up a delica, skip the next delica, go into the next delica. Now I'm going to do my last corner. So I'm going to pick up a gold 11-0, skip the next delica, and go into the next delica. And then pick up another gold 11-0. And I'm going to skip the next delica, and this is where my step up is because I'm back around to the beginning. So I'm going to skip the next delica, go into the next delica, and the delica on the diagonal. That's my step up. So that's the first round. So now I'm going to put delicas between all the delicas that are sticking out, except when I get to the corners I'm going to use an 11-0. So I'm going to pick up a delica, go into the next delica, pick up a delica, go into the next 11-0, gold 11-0. And now when I get between these gold 11-0s, I'm going to put another gold 11-0 between them. Now I'm going to do delicas until I get to my next corner. I'll pick up a delica, go into the next sticking out delica, pick up a delica, go into the next sticking out delica, pick up a delica, go into the next sticking out delica, pick up a delica, go into the next gold 11-0. Now between my gold 11-0s, I'm going to put another gold 11-0. I'm going to keep doing that all the way around until I get back to the beginning. So I'm going to put delicas in, except between the gold 11-0s, I'm going to put another gold 11-0. So when I get around to the beginning, I'll be back. Okay, I'm all the way around to where I need to do my step up now. So I'm going to pick up a, well, I put my delicas away. I need one more. I'm going to pick up a delica. I'm going to go into the, skip the next delica, go into the next delica, and the delica on the diagonal. So that's what I've got now. Now I'm going to do a round of 15-0s. I've got my 15-0s here. I'm going to start with my gold 15-0s. And I'm just going to put a 15-0 between every sticking out bead. So I'm going to go into that next delica bead. Even though I don't have a whole lot of thread on my needle, it's trying to get tangled. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and go into that next gold 11-0. Pick up a 15-0. Go into the next delica. And as I go around doing this, I'm going to pull in just a little bit and push in with my thumb to get it to start cupping. I'm going to pick up another gold 15-0, go into the next delica, pick up another gold 15-0, go into the next delica. I'm just going to do that all the way around until I get back here to the beginning. And when I get back here to the beginning, I'll come back and we'll step up. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around here to the beginning, back to where I put my first 15-0 on. So I need one more 15-0. I'm going to go into that sticking out delica and on up into that first 15-0 that I put on in this round. That's my step up. Now I'm going to use my blue 15-0s. Of course, you can do this all in one color. I just thought it might be easier to see what I'm doing if I used a different color. So I'm going to pick up one of my blue 15-0s. And I'm going to go into the next sticking out 15-0. And then here at my corner where I have those 11-0 gold beads, I'm just going to go through the next 15-0 without any beads on my needle to pull my corner in. Pull on it. Now I'm going to pick up another blue 15-0. Go into the next sticking out 15-0. Pick up another blue 15-0. Go into the next sticking out 15-0. Pick up another 15-0. Go into the next sticking out 15-0. Pick up another 15-0. Go into the next sticking out 15-0. And now I'm at a corner again. So I'm going to just go through that next 15-0 without any beads on my needle and pull it tight. So I'm going to do that all the way around, putting in my blue 15-0s, and then when I get to the corner, I'm going to go through the two 15-0s at the corner without any beads on my needle. So when I get back around to the beginning, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around now to where I put my first 15-0 on here. And I think I'm zoomed in too much. I think I'm blurring. Okay, this is where I put my first blue 15-0 on. So I've got a blue 15 on my needle. I'm going to go into my next gold 15-0 and on up into that blue 15-0. That's my step up. That's what I've got so far. And this will be the top of my rectangle because that's the shorter side with the 3 blue. And then there's 4 blue and 4 blue and then 3 blue. So now I'm going to take my stop bead off and put a needle on it on this thread and do a little bit on the front. And then I'll come back to the back and do, I think, at least one more row of 15-0s. So hold on, I'll get my needle threaded and I'll be back. Okay, I put a needle on my tail thread here, and I've decided you started out with way more thread than I needed, even though I wanted a little extra to sew my cabochons together when I get them bezeled. I've wound up with way too much. I'm going to put my stone in now, and I'm going to have to look on the back here to make sure I put it in the right way. So this would be the top with my 3 gold beads between my corners. So, but this is the back, so I'm going to put it in with the back like that, and then flip it over so I know I'm in the right place. And I want to try to make sure to keep my corners that have my gold beads in the corners. And now I'm going to do a row of my blue 15-0s. So I'm going to pick up a blue 15-0, go into the next sticking out delica. Pick up another blue 15-0, go into the next sticking out delica, and this is where my corner is. I've got the 2 11-0s and the 1 11-0 up here. I'm going to go through both of those delicas to pull my corner in, kind of like I did on the back. And I'm going to have to keep maneuvering my stone because it's trying to get away from me. Try to keep my corners in the corners. Of course, you can still maneuver it around once you tighten it. It's not going to be that tight. Now I'm going to pick up another blue 15-0, go into the next delica, another blue 15-0, go into the next delica, another blue 15-0, go into the next delica, and I'm pulling my thread inward when I do this to get it to hug around my stone. I'm going to pick up another 15-0, and I'm at my corner again here, so I'm going to go into the next 2 delicas. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around, going through the 2 delicas at the corners without any beads. And when I get back around to the beginning, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning now, where I put on my first blue 15-0. I'm coming out of this delica here. I'm going to go into the next sticking out delica and on up into that blue 15-0. Okay, now I'm going to do a round of gold beads. I don't know if I want to do this. I think I'll switch to the back and do another row of 15-0s back here before I finish the front. So, put my needle out of my way. So I'm coming out of this blue 15-0 here. And this is the corner where I went through without any beads. I'm going to tighten this some. Try to pull my corners together more. Now I'm going to do a row of 15-0 in my gold. And I'm here at the corner where I skipped, so there's quite a distance between my 2 blue 15-0s there. So I'm going to pick up 2 15-0s. And go into that next blue 15-0. Like that. Now I'm going to do 1 gold 15-0, go into the next blue 15-0, I'm going to pull it in and pick up another gold 15-0 and go into the next blue 15-0. Way too much thread here. Now I'm going to pick up another gold 15-0, go into the next blue 15-0, And I'm here at the corner again where my blue 15-0s are way apart from each other. So I'm going to pick up 2 gold 15-0s and go into the next blue 15-0. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around, putting 2 gold 15-0s in between the blue ones at the corner, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning. I just need one more gold 15-0 in here. So I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0, and I'm coming out of that blue 15-0 there. I'm going to go into the next blue 15-0. And then I'm going to go up into these 2 here in the corner. Which will be my step up. So I think I'm finished with the back. Unless I decide I want to tighten it some more. Now I'm going to go back to the front. Picked up the wrong needle. No, I didn't. Okay, yeah, this is my needle for the front. Now I'm going to put a round of gold 15-0s on the front. So I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0. Coming out of that blue 15-0, I'm going to go into the next blue 15-0. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the back between the 2 blue 15-0s that are really far apart. I'm going to put 2. I'm going to go into that next blue 15-0. I'm going to do a gold 15-0 and go into the next blue 15-0. Another gold 15-0 and go into the next blue 15-0. I'm going to pull in as I'm doing this so I can get it to hug the stone. Another gold 15-0. Go into the next blue 15-0. And now I'm at my corner again. I'm going to pick up 2 15-0s and go into the next blue 15-0. I'm going to keep doing that all the way around, and then when I get back to the front, or back to the beginning here, I'll come back and we'll step up. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back to the beginning again. I just need one more gold 15-0. I'm coming out of that blue 15-0. I'm going to go into the next blue 15-0. And the one on the gold bead on the diagonal. Now I'm done, except it's still just a little loose. So I'm going to go around all these beads again without any beads on my needle. I'm just going to go through the beads to tighten them up. So I'm going to go down into this blue one, up into those 2 gold ones. I'm going to go down into this blue one. And up into the gold one on the diagonal. Down into this blue one. And up into the gold one on the diagonal. I'm just going to do that all the way around to tighten this up. And then I'm going to go to the back and do the same thing. I'm just going to run around all the beads with just my needle and thread to tighten everything up. And then when I come back, I'm going to put some beads at the top and the bottom to get it ready to sew together with my other cabochons that I'm going to bezel. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my bezel done now, and I got it all tightened up on the front and the back. And I'm on the front here, I'm coming out of these two gold beads in the corner. So I'm going to sew through these beads until I'm coming out of this 11-0 here. So I'm just going to sew on the diagonal and make sure I don't show any thread. I'm going to go through this blue bead. Up into this blue delica. I'm going to go into the delica next to it. Pull that tight so my thread goes down in there. Now I'm going to go into this delica on the diagonal. I go into this gold bead in the corner there. This gold bead down here. This gold bead here. Now I've got my 11-0 gold beads and my spacer beads. I'm going to pick up a gold bead, 11-0 gold bead, and I'm going to skip over into this delica here. Put a gold bead in there. Now I'm going to pick up another 11-0 and skip these two beads and go into the next delica. And then pick up another gold 11-0 and skip these two beads and go into that gold 11-0 in the corner there. Now I'm going to turn my thread around. So I'm going to go down into this gold 11-0 in the corner. Up into this gold 11-0. Now I'm going to go into this delica down here. I'll go up into this delica next to it. Pull that tight so that'll pop down in there. Now I'm going to go into this 11-0 in the corner. 11-0 down here. I'm going to go on up into that other 11-0 too because it decided to let me. Now I'm going to go into this 11-0 that one of the ones I just put on. Take one of my spacer beads and I'm going to go into this 11-0. Pop that spacer bead in there, and I'm going to go into this, pick up another spacer bead and go into this 11-0. Pop that in there like that. So these are what I'm going to use to connect my cabochons together when I get all of them bezeled. So I'm going to I think I'll just sew this thread in. So I'll just go through this gold bead in the corner here, and now I'm just going to sew back and forth through my beads, making sure to stay on the diagonal so I don't show any thread, and crisscross my thread some until I know it's not going to come loose. I'll go over here and go up into this delica. And go back over here and go back down the delica I just came out of. I'm just going to do that several times until I know my thread's locked in good, and cut it off. And then I'm going to take this thread. I'm coming out of the two 15-0s on the back too, like I was on the front. I'm just going to sew around and put the spacer beads on this end like I did on this end. And I'm going to do that with all my rectangles. And when I get all those done, I'll be back and we'll bezel the round stone, the 18mm. I know this is probably going to be a very long video, much longer than my videos usually are. I thought about trying to do it in 2 separate videos, but I just decided I wanted to get it all done at once. So when I get all these rectangles bezeled, I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to bezel my 18mm cabochon, and this will be a lot easier because it's round and there's no corners to have to deal with. So I've got 46 delicas here, and now I'm going to go through a bunch of them. And I don't have any idea how much thread this is going to take. So I've got 4.5 feet of thread on my needle here, and I've put a stop bead about halfway because I'm going to go back and forth like I did those other bezels, or that other bezel I did. So now I'm just going to do peyote. I'm going to pick up a delica, and I'm going to skip the next delica and go into the next one. Tighten my stop bead down. I'm going to pick up another delica, go into the next, or skip the next delica and go into the next one. Pick up another delica, skip the next delica and go into the next one. So I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around, and when I get around to my step up, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning now. I just need one more delica, and then I'm going to do my step up. So I'm going to pick up a delica, I'm going to skip the next delica and go into the next delica, and then go up into the one on the diagonal. And that's my step up. Now I'm going to go around and put in another row of delicas, and on this round I'm going to start flattening it against my finger like this. And I'm just going to put in another row of delicas in between all the sticking out delicas. And if you have a hard time seeing where your step up is, because we started with 46 beads and we're skipping a bead, we're putting in 23 beads each time around. So if you have a hard time seeing where your step up is, if you want to count out 23 of your beads and put them in a little pile by themselves, then when you get to your last bead, you would know that that's where your step up is. So I'm just going to keep putting in another row of delicas here in between all the sticking out delicas. Like that. When I get around to the beginning, I'll come back and we'll do the step up, and then we'll put on some 15-ohs. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning now. I'm ready to do my step up. I just need one more delica. I'm going to go into that delica there that's sticking out, and then up into the one on the diagonal. I think I'm too zoomed in. I think I'm blurring. Let me, like that. So that's what I've got now. Now I'm going to put in a row of my gold 15-ohs. I'm just going to do a gold 15-oh and put it between all of the sticking out delicas. I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I think when I come back I'm going to thread my needle and do a row on this side of my gold delicas. So when I get both of the sides with gold delicas done, I'll come back and we'll step up and do, I think, a row of the blue delica, gold 15-ohs. I'm going to get this row done, and then I'm going to take my stop bead off and thread a needle and do a row of 15-ohs on this other side. and then when I come back, we'll step up and do a row of the blue 15-0s. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got a row of my gold 15-0s on each side, and I'm going to step up here. I need to put one more 15-0 in. So I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0, and I'm going to go into that sticking out delica and the 15-0 on the diagonal. And you don't have to do it all at once, and I couldn't, so I'm going to go through the delica and then up into the 15-0. Now I'm going to put a row of my blue 15-0s in. So I'm going to put a blue 15-0 between all the sticking out gold 15-0s. And when I get that done, I think I'll switch back to the other side and see if I can get my stone to stay in well enough to bead around it. So I'll be back. Okay, I tried putting my stone in and it's not staying in very well yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do another round of 15-0s on this side before I go to the other side. So I need one more of my blue 15-0s, and I'm going to go in that next gold 15-0, and then up into that blue 15-0. And now I'm going to put a row of gold 15-0s in between all the blue 15-0s. And I'm going to, as I'm putting these in, I'm going to kind of try to pull inward a little bit and tighten it so that my stone will stay in when I want to go to the other side. So I'm just putting a gold 15-0 in between all these blue 15-0s. So when I get that done, I'll have a needle threaded and be on this other side and see if I can get my stone to stay in there. So I'll be back. Okay, I got another row of gold 15-0s on the back. This is going to be the back. Now I'm going to go to the front here, and I'm going to put my stone in. And now I'm going to do a row of blue 15-0s between my gold 15-0s. And as I go around here, I'm going to pull in like that to get it to hug the stone. So I'm just going to put my bead in and pull in a little bit. So I'm going to go all the way around putting in my blue 15-0s, and then I'm going to step up and do a row of gold 15-0s. And when I get all that done, I'll be back. Okay, I've got my bezel done for my 18mm Rivoli now. And now I'm going to put some little connection points so that I can connect it to my rectangle stones like I did on these. So first I'm going to see where I'm coming out here. I'm coming out of this delica. It's not the delicas right next to the 15-0s, but the ones above, the row above that. I'm going to take a 15-0, I mean an 11-0, gold 11-0, and skip these two and go into the next delica. And I sewed in the other side of my thread because I ran out of thread. I guess 4.5 feet was about right, especially since I'm going to use the rest of this to sew my piece together. So now I'm going to pick up another 11-0, skip those two, and go into the next delica. And pick up another 11-0. Skip those two and go into the next delica. Now I have to decide where I want to put this side. How many I want to skip. So I'll just go through a few and see where I wind up at. So I'm going to go through the delicas on the diagonal. Let's see if that looks right. That'll probably be right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the 2 delicas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to pick up another 11-0. Skip those 2 there and go into the next 11-0. And pick up another 11-0 and skip those 2 and go into the next 11-0. It's very tight in there. I hope I don't break a bead. Now pick up another 11-0. Skip the next 2 there and go into the next delica. Okay, that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to turn my thread around. I'm going to go into this delica on the diagonal here. And I'm going to go up that delica right next to it. Pull that tight so my thread will pop in between those beads. Now I'm going to go into this delica. I'm going to go up into this 11-0. I'm going to pick up a spacer bead and put it in between these 2 11-0s. Pick up another spacer bead, put it in between these 2 11-0s. Now I'm going to sew on the diagonal till I get over here and put a spacer bead between these 11-0s. And when I get that done, I'll be back. Okay, I've made both of my little connection points on my rivoli here. And I sewed around until my thread is coming out of this 11-0 here at this connection point. So I'm going to connect it to this rectangle bezel that I made. So I'm going to pick up an 11-0, gold 11-0, one of these 2mm, I think the color was royal blue, and another gold 11-0. And I'm going to go into the 11-0 on this unit. And I'm going to go through the spacer bead, through that bead in the 11-0 in the middle, into the spacer bead, and the 11 on the other side of the spacer bead. Now I'm going to pick up another 11-0, another 2mm, and another 11-0. And I'm going to go into this 11-0 on this side. And make my little connection like that. Now I'm going to sew around all this several more times, probably as many as it'll let me, until it gets really tight, because I want that to be nice and tight, because it's my connection point. And then I'm going to connect this one the same way. And then I'm going to connect my other 2 the same way. And when I get all that done, I'll be back and we'll start on the sides of the necklace. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got all of my cabochons connected together now. And now I'm going to work on the sides of my necklace. So I've got some of my spacer beads, my 4mm fire polish beads, my 2mm royal blue beads, and my gold 11/0 seed beads. So I'm coming out of this spacer bead here. I'm going to pick up an 11/0, one of my little 2mm beads, and an 11/0, one of my spacer beads, an 11/0, spacer bead, an 11/0, a 2mm bead, and an 11/0. So I've got an 11/0, a 2mm, 11/0 spacer bead, 11/0 spacer bead, and then an 11/0 2mm and an 11/0. And I'm going to go into this spacer bead on this side. That. Now I'm going to go into the 11/0 in the middle there. Go into the spacer bead. Now I'm going to go around all that a few more times, and when I come back I'm going to be coming out of this 11/0 between these two spacer beads here. So I'll be back. Okay, I got all the way around, back around this unit a couple more times, and now I'm coming out of this 11/0 between my two spacer beads. So now I'm going to pick up a 4mm fire polish bead, an 11/0, one of my little 2mm blue beads, an 11/0, a fire polish bead, an 11/0, and a fire polish bead, an 11/0, a 2mm bead, and an 11/0, and a fire polish bead. So I've got a fire polish bead, 11/0, 2mm 11/0, fire polish bead, 11/0 fire polish bead, 11/0 2mm bead, 11/0, and a fire polish bead. So I'm coming out of the top of that 11/0. I'm going to go on the bottom of it. Make that little unit. Now I'm going to sew around all this again, and when I come back I'm going to be coming out of the 11/0 between these fire polish beads. So I'll be back. Okay, I got back around all that again, and now I'm coming out of the 11/0 between the fire polish beads. I'm going to make that same unit again. So I need a fire polish bead, an 11/0, a 2mm bead, an 11/0, a fire polish bead, an 11/0, and a fire polish bead, 11/0, 2mm bead, 11/0, and a fire polish bead. So fire polish bead, 11/0 2mm 11/0, fire polish bead, 11/0 fire polish bead, 11/0 2mm 11/0, and a fire polish bead. So I'm coming out of the bottom of that 11/0. I'm going to go on the top of it and make me another little unit just like the one I just made down here. Now I'm going to go around all that again. I'm going to come out this 11/0 here, and I'm going to make another unit like that. And I'm going to make, I think, probably 5 of these units. And then when I come back, I'll put on one side of the wire guardian. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my 5th unit on here, and I've not gone around it yet. I just went through that 11-0 there, because I'm not going to go all the way around this one right now. I'm going to go up here to this 11-0 where I would go if I was going to make another unit. I'm not going to go into the 11-0 though. I'm going to come out this fire polish bead. And now I'm going to put my wire guardian on. So I'm going to take two 11-0s and one of my spacer beads and my wire guardian. Go up one channel of the wire guardian. I'm going to go down the other channel of the wire guardian, back into the spacer bead. I'm going to pick up two more 11-0s. And I'm going to go down into this fire polish bead. And I'm going to go on around my unit again. Back into the connecting bead there. I'm going to go up this side of my unit. Now I'm going to go back into those two 11-0s, back into the spacer bead. Back around the wire guardian. Into the spacer bead. Down the two 11-0s on this side. Into the fire polish bead, the 11-0. I'm going to go around all that again. And then I'll be done with this side, and then I'm going to make the other side just the same way as this side. And when I come back, I'll have figured out how much chain I need and put on the rest of my findings. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm finally done now, except for putting on my findings. And this came to about 12 inches. And I don't want this to be a really long necklace just because of the shape of it. I'd rather it kind of sit further up on the chest. So I've only got about 3 inches of chain each here, which would make it around 18 inches. So I've got a 5mm jump ring. I'm going to use to put this side of my chain on. Then I have another 5mm jump ring I'm going to use to put the other side of my chain on. And now I've got this little lobster clasp had a jump ring on it, so I'm going to use it. I think it's one that will open. I don't know. I don't see the slit, but that's not uncommon for me. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to put it on this side of my chain. And then I have an 8mm jump ring that I'm going to put on this other side for my lobster to clasp onto. And I'm going to put this pretty extender chain on here. Oh, it had a little jump ring on it too, with the little dangle already on there. And now I'm done with this very long video. So hold on and I'll get my everything cleaned up and laid out here, and I'll be back. Okay, there's my necklace all done, made with some of the beads and findings that came in the May-June Beading School Academy subscription box called Rosetta Window. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below to the Beading School Academy website in case you want to check it out and maybe subscribe to the box or just shop around on their website. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.